Still prepping, you say?
Yeah, we still prepping. We ain't leaving in the oven with that new project that I'm working on.
Yeah, bro.
That shit going flaming. Flaming.
Shen's always coming with it.
Every fucking day. I'll never stop.
25 rotation, eh?
Yeah. All day, every day.
Hell yeah.
You have a good weekend, man, G?
Fuck.
Well, what's going on? Audio?
Yes. Stopped itself.
Uh-oh.
I hate you. What are you doing?
Check.
Man. Shit's fucking weak. Well, bam, there we go. Audio's back on.
All right, there we
We're
go.
good again.
There we go. All right.
Video. Sorry for technical difficulties. All that bullshit.
We in the building. In the building. Master Shenlo and MAG, the sector on the scene. Tales from the deep.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. How you doing, MAG?
Oh, you know, living somebody's dream.
Man.
You know, I was thinking about this. I'm keeping a dead man's dream alive. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Like, fuck.
because you work for Walmart, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's dead.
Long gone.
Oh, man.
It's just the Walton family now, making them rich as fuck.
Generations on generations, them motherfuckers. They're even almost trying to take over. Walmart and Amazon, man. They ain't playing.
You know that the one thing that they talked about, like at the Walmart Academy, was that you know, they're trying to, you know, the goal is to win retail. You know.
Oh.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I don't know, man. I question their methods to get there.
What's some of their methods?
Well, just like, you know, I mean, like, looking at, like, Amazon, you know what I mean? Like, they're, Walmart's starting to move into, like, you know, online shit, but, I mean, you know, Amazon has that on lock, you know what I mean? Because they have, like, you know, they have third-party sellers and a bunch of different people that actually use their platform rather than, you know, just Amazon selling their stuff. You know, but Walmart has that too, but it's, you know, it's not as, it's fresher, you know, it's a lot newer than Amazon's been, you know, like years now. Everybody just knows Amazon like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my coworkers, we were talking about how King Soopers is actually slacking right now, or Kroger in general, because they're not focused. They weren't focusing on their online, you know, during the COVID. So now we're like,
catching
we're
up.
kind of in the rear end, you know, trying to catch up with everybody who's freaking already just miles ahead of us in this race.
Yeah, that's how it is with, you know, Walmart too, you know, that's what I'm saying, like, it's, you know, we're getting to it, and they're starting to do it now. That's cool, but, you know, if you're trying to win retail, you gotta be super innovative. And I mean, you know, not saying that they're not, but, you know, just a little late to the start, like, you know, King Soopers, you said.
Yeah, exactly, you know, and that's why they've been cutting our hours like crazy, bro. Everybody else is in every other department, and they've been fucking trying to funnel it in the click list, the freaking online shopping and shit, you know? And,
yeah.
You know, trying to get that up, trying to get that end up so they can hold their weight in this freaking, in this war of, you know, finances.
The retail war.
This retail war, dude. They ain't playing out here, man.
No, bro.
It's cutthroat.
That's real, you know, like, that's their livelihood, you know, it's fucking, it's, you know, to a lot of people, it's real, you know, it's.
So we had a president's walk today, so
really?
the dude who runs Kroger and
Are they
stuff.
freaking out and shit?
Everybody's freaking out, bro. We're all freaking, like, doing all this extra work, and it's not like we don't do this all the time, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, it was a lot.
No, it's funny. I find that stuff funny, you know, like, you know, I get that, like, yeah, people are coming and we want to put up for them, you know, make it look nice, but I mean, you know, like, should we really have to? You know, it should be, I don't know.
Dude, my coworker was telling me, he's like,
we should be on it, you know?
He's like, did I ever tell you about that time when I was working at this store or whatever, and the president came in, and all he came in and said was, "Where's my burritos?" Right? Like, I was like, what? He's like, oh, y'all is worried too much about this. I just, where's my burritos? And then whoever brought him burritos, and it was like a real relaxing walk.
Yeah.
And I actually was thinking about it too, because I remember meeting him last year when he came for a walk, you know, for a president's walk, and he seemed really chill. Like, he was like super calm. Like, he didn't really seem like he was tripping. Like, he said like just a little bit of something here and there, but
yeah.
nothing too serious. You know, he didn't seem like he was like, oh. Like, you know, a lot of these freaking supervisors and stuff, they be all nitpicky and shit like this. But he seemed like really, really cool about everything. He didn't seem like he was like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's, you know, at that level, it is, you know, it's, you know, it's, how do I say it? You know, like when you're a store manager, you know, and then you have like that district dude above you and all this other dudes, like, you know, it's different. You know, yeah, it's like, you know, so it is a lot more serious, you know, because that's, you know, that's where it's, where the decisions are made, and you know, and that's why I get it. You know why people are all freaked out. And good one, though.
Oh yeah. You know, because you know, you kind of want to be on like certain on the good side with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't want.
I mean, if this is your, you know, your livelihood, you're making, you know, this is your income. You know, if you get fired, bro, you know, if you're living that life with those expenditures and that kind of money, you know, that's what it is. You know, if you go from that to jobless, shit, that's hard.
Nah, for real.
So I mean, you know, I completely understand it, but yeah,
My only thing is, I don't like it when people, they'll do anything just to, you know, get themselves up. You know, I can't be that type of person, you know, and because they'll throw another person under the bus or whatever, you know, just to get themselves to a certain position, or do whatever it takes just to get themselves in a position, even if it's like really foul.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah,
that's just. You know, those type of people are the freaking the corporate heads that I don't like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, like there's cool managers. You know, you have cool bosses and shit. You know, and there's you got certain people who care and stuff like that about their employees. But yeah, then you got those people who really don't care. All they care is about their money, their situation, getting themselves into the best position possible, whatever that takes, even if they gotta fucking destroy your position. You know what I'm saying? And it's foul.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting thing.
Shit, bro, it's freaking crazy because I see it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a difference between a leader and a manager, you know, or like, you know, a boss and a leader. You know, like, yeah, you there's things you have to do, no doubt, to make the, you know, like you're being paid to make sure people are doing what they need to do. Exactly. You know, like when you're in the manager position, and that's what it is. But, you know, yeah, you know, there should still be respect. You know, you shouldn't be just like a complete asshole, you know, walking up to people and demanding things and not telling people thank you, or, you know, being appreciative of their work.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but you definitely have to find the balance. And that's something I've been struggling with. You know, I was talking a little bit, and, you know, it's interesting. You know, it really
it's
is.
challenging, you know, because I remember when I was like working to be manager at Jimmy John's, like I was cool, you know, so I always just let everyone know, like honestly, like we could just chill as long as we have all the work done, we're caught up, and we don't need to do anything. If we got everything done, we can literally just sit here and chill for the last few hours or whatever, you know. But don't make it look like that, you know, because I'm sure they probably check the cameras or whatever, make sure everything's getting done. But we still get the work done, always. We always got the work done, you know, and everyone was actually pretty cool with me, you know, but it was always hard to do with younger kids because they're, I don't know how to say it. They're just their own. You feel me? Like when you're like a teenager, you're just trying to be your own, so you're pretty defiant and stuff.
Yeah, I get that.
And I've noticed that a lot, you know, so I'd have to like talk to them a couple times about certain things, and it's kind of hard, you know, because you're not trying to be that dude who is like an asshole.
Yeah.
You feel me? But you do gotta make sure that shit's getting done.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, it's interesting balance.
Yeah, that balance, bro.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's necessary, and like I said, yeah, you know, it's what they pay you for, and so.
Yeah.
That's that's your job, you know.
Exactly.
Like their job is to stop, your job is to do this. You know, it's like, yeah, quite an interesting world.
Yeah, this shit's insane, man. I'm freaking tired of working for people.
Right? Yeah, it'd be nice to be, you know, completely independent and have multiple streams of income.
Yeah, bro, that's the goal. That's the goal. You know, you just gotta work to get there.
Hey, man, I'm really gonna start branching into these stocks, man. You know, just,
yeah, that's
like
stock.
I have a 401k and shit through, you know, my job, but yeah, man, it's definitely needs something else. Like
Yeah,
other
definitely.
streams.
That's what my dad's been really talking about it lately. You know, he's really on the stock situation.
Yeah.
With the whole Wall Street bets and then the freaking. He was in that that whole Robinhood situation. He was like,
He was trying to buy some.
well, he had stocks in AMC. When they were raising the stocks on AMC, they shut it down.
Hmm.
So a lot of people got lost out on that. And I was talking to this dude at my job. He was talking about like, yeah, he's always in that too. They're saying that if this lawsuit goes through, a lot of us are going to get compensated. You know, like all of us should be getting compensated for losing that stock. If not, if they don't buy our
They
stocks
took their
anymore.
stock.
No, they shut. All right, so Robinhood is a big
Yeah.
stock, you know,
Yeah.
Lincoln system, and like just about everybody uses it. I
Mm.
noticed, you know, everybody that I was talking to about the stock situation.
Yeah.
And from what I know, they are supposed to be. They were kind of seeing how the people are starting to work the system. You know what I'm saying? Of the stock system to become rich and stuff like that. Because they seen GameStop. You hear about GameStop?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like there was like hundreds of like thousands of people that freaking became rich overnight just because of GameStop. You know what I'm saying? Investing their stocks and stuff, and
Yeah. So they started buying a lot of the AMC stock too, and it was going up like that, like GameStop was.
Yeah, because on Wall Street Bets, they're giving tips on the stocks. You know, they give you like, oh,
Yeah.
this is going to be going up here soon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This and that and the other, and AMC was supposed to be one of the next ones, and then
Yeah.
when that was happening, Robinhood shut it down.
Yeah.
You know, and
Some Robin Hood, huh?
yeah, for real, you know, which is illegal. So they're trying to push this freaking, you know, this lawsuit against the people who were involved in the Robinhood scandal and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be an interesting where things are going to start going from here.
Yeah.
You feel me? And
Yeah. it is.
Robinhood fucked up, like for real though, because a lot of billionaires they're broke now, lost all their assets. You feel me?
I can see that. Yeah, you know, and that is pretty fucked up. You know, once people like, you know, the people start getting the chance to actually make some money, then they're like, wait, no, we can't do that. I'm like, yeah, you know, they ain't doing that to the fucking bankers and shit on Wall Street. Like, you know, they ain't being told to stop or anything, or you know, like if it's the other way around, you know, there's no fucking rail, or you know, like, come on, that's
exactly, you know, and they don't want to lose their position, you know, because they have power in that position. You know, they have all this money, all this pull on the world over everybody else. You feel me? Because we're workers.
Yeah, and it's probably like what I was talking about with like, you know, like me in management with like, you know, the money and pay. Like, yeah, you know, they probably live extravagant lives, you know, that cost a lot. And I could imagine if, you know, you go from making millions to making $100 a day. Like, bro, that shit's your life ain't gonna be the same.
Yeah, you're gonna fucking culture shock for real.
That's
some real shit.
People start doing drastic things, you know what I mean? That's probably why, you know, they do drastic things, because they don't want to lose that. They're scared to fall out of power, you know, fall out of money. And I mean, you know, money makes life a lot easier. That's not a lie, you know, because everything costs something, you know, especially money. But I mean, yeah, man, it's a wild world. Money is something that's used a lot, and it's got a lot of power. It's come to get a lot of power just because we give it that, though. You know, it's wild.
Yeah, for real. You know, me and my dad were talking about how I was like, you know, it's interesting because they always say how the revolution will be televised. You know, this isn't on the news or nothing, and it's not what you would normally expect. You know, you would think you'd see all-out war as the freaking revolution. And my dad was talking about how the cryptocurrency movement, why it started was because they wanted to take the money out of the banks and they wanted to have it somewhere else. So they designed these coins like Bitcoin and Dogecoin and all these other different coins, you know, that are the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
And to help take power from the banks, because the banks are just holding our money and collecting interest on it, and we don't get any of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this was the original push that my dad was talking to me about with the cryptocurrencies, and and then there's all this Wall Street stuff going on, you know, with everyone, with the individuals being able to have access to the stock market and stuff like that. Because before, like years ago, we didn't have these phones and all these apps and stuff like that. Now we got all this access to everything, you know. So now we could do something, you know. Now everybody, there's a lot of people could become millionaires overnight, you know, just off of whatever, just through the phones, through our phones, you know.
It's just crazy.
And
technology, man.
Yeah, like even people, like kids, bro. Kids became rich because their parents, instead of buying them like GameStop games, they bought them GameStop stocks when it was really cheap, like years back. Yeah. And now their kids are rich. You know what I'm saying? And this is just an interesting event, you know, to think about, as if this were the real revolution, because these are the people, you know, the corporate entities and all these businessmen. These are the people who have the power, the pull on the whole world, and they are the ones who've been holding us down in these brackets of freaking lesser wealth, you know, poverty and stuff like that. And like the 1%, there's only, you know, the 1%, they have all the world, like pretty much all the money in the world, and then we have the 99% has like the pennies and crumbs.
Yeah, man. It's a wild, you know, setup. I mean, no doubt you get what you earn, but I mean, you know, there definitely is a lot of crookedness.
Yeah,
and like
bro.
the way the rules are made, and
because they know the system, they know it, they understand it.
They work with the system.
Exactly,
you know?
and we
lobbyists. You know what lobbyists are?
I think so.
Essentially, they are people who get paid by companies to go down to Capitol Hill and essentially talk and essentially, you know, donate and not coerce, but, you know, like, you know, put in good words essentially to senators like, hey man, you should really look at this bill and approve it because, you know, I'll donate a bunch to you and, you know, it'll look good for you, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And bam, you know, they'll approve it and it gets through and, you know, this company gets what they want because these lobbyists.
Wow.
I mean, anybody can be a lobbyist, really.
Yeah.
You know, you can just go down there and try to talk to a senator.
You got money.
I mean, no, me and you. We can go down there and just try and talk to senators.
Just
yeah,
to
talk
lobby.
to them. You know, it is what it is. Wow. Yeah, just talking to people. But I mean, you know, there's people who actually paid a lot of money to do that. You know, who are professional lobbyists that just go and you know, talk to senators and stuff. It's interesting, and that's, you know, that's like I'm talking about. You know, that's how the government works with them because they, you know, they're everybody's in somebody's pocket, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Especially if it's in business-wise in this day and age, and the government. Yeah, it's all types of freaking manipulated and crooked. You know what I'm saying? We get what they give us. You know what I'm saying? They don't want us to see certain things. And it's hard, you know, because you can't really ever really know the truth. It seems like.
Yeah, dude, it's constantly shifting. You know, it's ever changing.
Right.
The truth is.
Ever changing in the moment, bro.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's insane.
But, you know, a lot of people. There's a war on truth, man. It's important. Integrity is important. You know. And I mean, honestly, I'm gonna take it to like, I just got this car, right? And future auto sales over on like Alameda and Tejon.
Yeah.
Bro, I got this sick ass van for like $1,600, and this dude was legit, man. You know, he told me, you know, he was real. You know, like he wasn't like fake about it. You know, he's like, he told me if there was any issues, and you know that, you know, he's just trying to make a quick buck. You know, he's not trying to be selling for expensive and make too much money. And you know, he was a genuine guy. And you know, that's what the world needs. You know, a lot more realness, genuineness, and just, you know, from the heart. You know, instead of all the superficial shit. Like, yeah, man. If only we could all be a lot more real with each other, and just, you know, truly just, you know, try to understand each other. You know, there'd be a lot less fucking conflict and shit, because we're all the same, man. You know, we all want the same things in reality. It's just, you know, we go about it differently. And, you know, we come from different backgrounds. You know, we don't all speak the same language and look the same. It's just what it is. But, yeah, man. Xenophobia. You know that one?
No, I don't. Which one is that?
Fear of the strange. Or the unknown.
Interesting. it's kind of always been that way. At least not always. I think there's a shift, you know, where there's a push for truth now. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because people are demanding more. You know, we need to know. You know, because this is now there's a lot going on that is making us question. You feel me?
Yeah.
For instance, like with that whole Hillary Clinton's situation with the emails. You know, obviously she was hiding something because she deleted the emails or whatever. You know, I'm not too familiar on all the specifics, but
Yeah.
I was briefed a little bit. But you know, like stuff like that. You know, and then the Pizzagate scandal and the Epstein Island. You know what I'm saying? And all this type of stuff that's coming out that there's no way around the questions we are asking. You know what I'm saying? We have to ask these questions because it's like this stuff is being thrown in our face. So we're wondering like, this is really what it is, you know?
Yeah.
And now we're really wondering, you know, like what really is. Not everybody, of course, but
Yeah.
a lot of us are. You know I am. You know, because it's just confusing. You don't even know what, you know, because you could talk about this stuff all day. You look it up on the internet. Everybody has their own side, you know, and it's really you hardly find something thorough on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's there, but you gotta really search. You know, you gotta really do it.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing with the internet though too is like, because it's so much access to information, and just, you know, anybody can really put anything anywhere now, especially on the internet.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's really hard to discern. You know, you really have to, you know, kind of have an academic approach. You know, when you're trying to understand what's, you know, like what's some factual shit and what's just, you know, some like propaganda.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, man, it's wild. You know, there's just so much out there now, and I mean, I just feel like, yeah, you know, there's a lot of questions, no doubt, but there's also just a lot of bullshit out there that people are just pushing for like stupid reasons. Like I'm gonna go out there and say, you know, I don't believe in the flat Earth. You know, I think that's just ridiculous to me. I mean, if that's what you believe, that's perfectly fine. You know, you have that right, but I just question you to, you know, like think about it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. You know, there's you know, let's do some research. You know, I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything. You know, just like, I mean, I'll do research too on like a flat Earth. You know, I have done a little. And I mean, like, you know, I just don't see it. You know, it's like it's not something I take to truth. You know,
Yeah.
but you know, it's there's a lot of things like that out there. You know, where people are just they're dead set on something because they feel, you know, emotionally that's true. That's what it is. But you know, the facts just aren't there. And I mean, you know, then you know, they put it out there, a lot more people follow it, and then there's a huge following of something that's just completely erroneous.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, and like, what do you think about like the Hollow Earth?
I mean, I wouldn't say hollow Earth. As like hollow as like an Earth being possible. I just don't think. But I mean, I can definitely see deep underground caverns. You know, within like the crust, like maybe even like a what's that? Journey to the Center of the Earth. You seen it? Like when they go down, there's like pretty much like, you know, dinosaur and shit all underneath like an enclosed dome and shit. I mean, that'd be, you know, I could see that as maybe being possible. You know, maybe like a whole like part got, you know, maybe like some sort of tectonic shift or earthquake happened and like completely caved in and something's grew over, but you know, stood the same somehow. I don't know, but you know, I just don't think a completely hollow Earth would be a thing. But I mean,
Yeah, like, but like, if you even see like the Hollow Earth theories, they don't even say it's like completely hollow. You know, they just say like there's pretty much at the poles there's a hole. You know what I'm saying? An opening. And that there's inside this opening, you can go inside this opening, and there's a whole nother civilization inside there. You know what I'm saying?
interesting.
So, just like this one, there's a sun and everything, you know, like inside the earth. That's what they're saying.
Interesting.
So, I thought that's always been interesting, you know. But not to say that it's true or nothing,
Yeah.
but I don't really think anybody's been to the North Pole or the South Pole.
Yeah, you don't think?
Not reported. You know, at least not that I've found. You know, but I guess I haven't looked too much into it.
Yeah, I mean, those are very remote locations, and very few people can go those ways. I think it'd be interesting just to go there, and, experience that. That's a whole nother level of just like cold and just isolation. Like that'd be interesting.
Yeah, bro, it's like -30
Yeah, dude, that'd be
on a regular.
Shit.
How do you even like make it through that? How do you dress for that? Like,
Right,
you see people on these movies, and I was like, "Are you sure that's enough?"
Underdressed as fuck. Yeah, man, that'd be, I don't know, like 4 jackets, 3 pants, thermals, 3 layers of socks.
Yeah.
Huh.
For real though, bro.
I really
Like,
wonder. Yeah, it's probably bundled, I can imagine.
They look bundled, but they look. I'm telling you,
Oh, yeah,
they
the movies,
still,
yeah.
they still don't look like it's enough. I'm like, yo, bro, I think you need a little more.
Right. Yeah, man.
'Cause oh yeah, well on this one movie, I forget which one. Oh, Whiteout.
Mm.
You ever seen that?
What's that about?
I forget exactly, but it's like I think they're on some kind of base in Antarctica, and they there's like this creature in the freaking snow or whatever that's killing people. You can't even see it because it's completely white. Like that's why it's called whiteout, because you can't see.
Oh wow.
You can't even see it. And it matches with the freaking environment,
Yeah.
the snow and everything.
That'd
So, yeah, so this thing comes out to you. But on one of the scenes, I remember this lady. She had gloves on, and she grabbed the railing, and she got frostbite through her gloves.
And it was the thing that she grabbed or what? Or was it just?
No, it was the railing. Like
Oh,
she was
just
trying
the-
to get inside, to run away because
Yeah.
it was all,
Jeez.
like blizzard, freaking things chasing her. She grabs the rail. Her hand gets stuck to the rail through her gloves, and she freaking she had like frostbite. She
That'd
was
be
all
crazy.
her hands were all messed up.
Could you imagine if that was like a real thing?
Right, right.
If like you've done that, like you were just like, if you weren't even like running from a monster, you're just fucking trying to get inside because you're like you gotta take a piss or something,
Yeah,
and you're like, oh
blizzard.
shit, then you like you forgot to like put the second glove on, and you go wham, it's like ah, and it's not moving. Oh, that shit would be fucking horrifying. And then you're just getting colder and shit. What if like nobody found you? Then you're like
Or you
shit,
just die there. I'm pretty sure that's like one of the slowest deaths.
freezing.
Yeah, freezing to death. Cause
Yeah.
you enter into like hypothermia, I think it is, right?
So
And
yeah, I read this one short story one time. I forgot what it was called, but it was essentially about like this dude he was traveling like in like the mountains from like it was like 43 miles or something, like from one part to the other part in like one night or like a span of like 2 days. And like it's about his like struggle with like the cold and stuff, and like he's trying to like start a fire and stuff, and his hands are he has to take his gloves off, but they're getting real cold, and he's not able to get it, and if he doesn't get it, he's gonna die, and it's just like he ends up dying. Actually, it's funny, but yeah, like, and it's barely he's like maybe 2-3 miles away from where the cabin needs to get to, and it's like, huh. But it's because
that
like
sucks.
he made the wrong decision to keep going at this point, or he wasted too many matches at this point, so he couldn't start another fire. It's like it was just wild. Like that stuff is it's different.
What was it called?
I forget, but it was just a short story about
Some
that.
dude, his experience. Damn,
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
I wasn't that short. I was actually a long story. It was like a bunch of pages long. So. Like 40,
It was
maybe
actually
50
long
pages.
ass story. A
Short
long-
story, my ass.
Long short story.
Yeah. Oh god. What you read right now, Lo?
I'm actually reading that Second How to Rap right now.
Okay. How's that?
It's actually really good. It goes a lot more in depth on different just dimensions of vocalizing yourself as an MC, delivery, how to spice up your delivery, how to give it like a little more character. It's pretty good stuff.
What's that?
It has a lot more, and it goes more into like the different approaches, that you could take. And it's actually been it's been helping me a lot, it's given me a lot of perspective on how to really bring something out of my music, you know, because it tells you about how certain things affect certain things in certain ways, you know. So like, for instance, if you have like say you have your dopest bar, your hardest bar, I guess the best way to approach that would be to hit it, to have a hit, and then have a rest after it, so it could resonate. You know what I'm saying? And like it leaves it with them, you know, and they're like, oh shit. Yeah. You know, they sit there for a minute with it, and it hits them more. You know, it pulls more out of it, pulls a little more out of the energy, and like it actually, because it explains from different people's perspectives, you know, because they interview all these different artists, so they explain their outlook on it and how they use this stuff. You feel me? And I'll check out the songs that they reference, you know, and it really gives you a good grasp on how to do it, you know, on how these people are using it and how it really does affect you in a different way, you know, and how these people really are some of the best because of their knowledge. They all understand this, you know, these certain things that they talk about in these books.
Yeah.
And it makes them the great MCs and artists that they are. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm a little over halfway through it, like almost 3/4 of the way. So I just started it last week.
Okay.
It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I'm happy I'm actually getting through it, because it really made me look at it all totally differently. You know, because like I'll be writing, you know, and I feel like my bars they hold a little more weight, but it's just how I carry them on a beat sometimes. It doesn't hit as hard. You feel me? So that's what I started seeing. Like even my dad was kind of telling me, you know, he's like, there's like just some, you know, he's like, because he was telling me how much I've grown, how much he's seen me grow, and how if there's like just this like one part, there's usually I'll be flowing, you know, like he said, like a hitch or something, and it like kind of throw the flow off a little bit, you know, and it was because I wouldn't like give myself breathing enough time to breathe, and I'm starting to figure that out for myself, you know, learning. I just wrote that Witty for freaking the KRS-One track, and it's exactly what they don't know. And that shit's tight. I used a lot of that, you know, that knowledge, you know, and incorporated it for my first time. So I feel like it came out actually really good. Yeah, everybody be checking out the Witties. Every Wednesday. Every Wednesday. And Tales from the Deep every Thursday. We're coming with it. I know sometimes I drop it on Fridays. It's because they're freaking YouTube uploading is crazy, man. Especially these long videos.
I can imagine. Yeah, I've only ever uploaded like 2 or 3 minutes. But yeah, these are like 50 to 42 minutes.
Yeah, it takes a good minute. You know,
Yeah.
a good day and a half. Of constant upload. Like you can't let your screen shut off and nothing. You gotta make sure you're keeping the screen on, you know, and it's up so it doesn't go to rest mode.
Yeah.
So you can upload that shit. If you don't, sometimes it keeps going and then it turns off, but sometimes it don't. I swear.
It's just behind the scenes.
For real, bro.
A lot of work goes into this. The podcast doesn't just fall together.
Yeah.
If only.
They kind of did at first, but
yeah, I mean, yeah.
The obstacles along the way have shown us that there's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
So everything.
It's not just the conversation. I mean, it could be. You know, it doesn't have to. There's no mold really. You know,
exactly.
But I mean, what we've come to like, it's definitely a little more than the bare minimum.
Yep.
Oh shit, man. No, it's fun though. I did enjoy it.
Yeah, you podcast is fun.
Yeah.
We've been coming along. We interviewed some pretty dope ass artists, some dope ass people.
Yeah, man.
Freaking
More to come.
more to come.
Adam wants to come on.
Adam?
Adam.
He hit you up?
Yeah. I mean, I think we should have him on.
That'd be tight.
Yeah. Possibly next week. Might have him on.
That'd be tight.
Yeah. Next week. No dates on here. The next week.
Yeah, next time. We'll see.
So yeah, stay tuned for that. That should be interesting. We'll have to. I think we gotta figure out a date, depending on what your days off are. But yeah,
I'll
it should
figure
be
that
cool.
out. Give it to Haley. Supposed to be my freaking manager. It's all good. Are you reading it? What are you reading right now?
I'm currently reading that 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. It's interesting. I'm on number 6 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, I've heard a lot of different stuff, you know, about the book, and I've read some like, you know, I like to read like reviews and stuff, you know, just to get a little opinion and, you know, see what other people think.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's interesting. You know, it's good to know. You know, it's good knowledge, really.
Yeah.
You know, and like what I was seeing in like the reviews and stuff, like people are like bashing it, saying like, oh, it's manipulative. Like this is how you use people. And I mean, you know, like that may be a way to look at it, you know, from a certain point of view. But you know, in general, like these laws, like the fact that they're based on history, that's what I like about it. You know, it actually uses history. You know, and a lot of like quotes from historical figures, and it's dope. You know, it's really cool. And I mean, that's, you know, I love history. History's the shit. You know, if you can understand what happened, you know, you can, you know, make better informed decisions, you know, that are not, you know, leading towards those mistakes that others have made. And, yeah, man, it's always about progress.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. It's all about how you use it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about where your heart's at, your intent.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, it's the book talks about it too. Like, even though, you know, like maybe you don't use these, you know, laws for your benefit, but they're good to just know, you know, because then you don't fall victim to them. You know, then you can be in front of it rather than being behind the ball. You know, then you're in the know, and then someone comes up to you trying to pull some tricks on you. You know, you're not gonna be just some happens goat.
Yeah, for real. Waiting to get freaking slaughtered.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
What is it? Industrialized. You industrialize you like all these other animals. Save the animals.
It's an interesting world we live in.
Getting crazy. We need to legalize.
2021.
We need to legalize weed though, full round, all
Federally?
across, globally,
Globally.
not just federally. We need to take a step further, globally.
I mean,
It's like, I don't know about
Yeah, I
that,
don't
but
know.
hey, it's probably not gonna be that far, but not in
Yeah.
our lifetime.
yeah, I don't know. A lot of these other countries have some interesting military might, and the way they exercise themselves is very interesting. I'm very glad we live in America.
You think they use weed? What, they use weed in their exercises?
No. I'm talking about
Enhancers or
just
what?
like, the laws. Like how, they just like, it's different. Like obviously, America, as opposed to, say like Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, like, they have a lot more stricter laws, and the punishments are a lot different. Like in Singapore, you know what I mean? Like they have like, you know what I'm talking about? Like I forget what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's like, I think they like hit you with a cane or something. Like there's like, yeah, bro, there's some places with some draconian ass laws, bro. I mean it's, yeah, you shouldn't be like littering and stuff. Yeah, that's bad. I agree. But shit, bro. Like, the punishments are just like severe in some places. And I mean, in that regard, like those places like Singapore, I'm pretty sure, like, or even the Emirates, you know, it's illegal to be, you know, like publicly intoxicated, or like, you know, like drugs are illegal pretty much. Like even like, yeah, drinking like outside of your home, like in the streets and stuff, like that's, you know, it's a crime. And it's just interesting, you know. And I mean, yeah, for like weed to be globally legal, that'd be like shit, man. Like you'd have to overthrow some governments to even just get that, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
I got you.
but yeah, that's just what I'm saying.
Interesting.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like people,
That's insane.
like, have you heard about like how there's those riots in Russia? Hear about that at all? Yeah, so I guess there's the dude that allegedly that they allege was poisoned by Russia. He was like essentially he was like, you know, a dissenter, saying that, you know, he was talking against Putin. You know, Putin is the leader, and so people believe that he might have been poisoned by Russia. And yeah, anyway, he was recovering, and then when he came back to Russia, they arrested him, and so people were protesting because, you know, they wanted him freed because, you know, he didn't do nothing wrong. And yeah, where do we go with that? But yeah, man, it's wild stuff.
You're just talking about the riots.
Oh, okay, no, fear. That's what I was going.
Okay.
And so, okay, there was someone I was talking to, right? And I asked them, you know, because they're from Russia, and they're a little bit older, and you know, I asked them what their opinion was, and like almost immediately, you know, they said, "Oh, I don't want to talk about that. You know, it's just like scary stuff." And you know, it's just it took me back a little. You know, it made me thankful. You know, kind of where I'm at, like in, you know, just for America. You know, that it's different. You know, that it isn't like that. You know, that we don't have a fucking king, you know, ruling over us and, you know, giving all the decrees, and, you know, we're just subjects and shit. Like, you know, it's, you know, they could be better. You know, everything always could be better. But, you know, it's just, you know, I was thankful. You know, but it made me think, you know, that for him to have it like that, you know what I mean, where people on the other side of the world
In
are
fear.
yeah, in fear, like scared, like, you know, something could happen to them or their family or their loved ones because, you know, they have an opinion. It's like, fuck, dude. It's crazy shit. You know what I mean? You know, I was a little mind blown. I was like, wow. Yeah, fuck. It's wicked shit, man.
It is. I mean, I guess we're the freest of them all. As much as we try to freaking complain about how we're not free.
Back we even have the right to complain. Shit. That's what people realize. But, yeah, man. I'd be grateful. I mean, it could be worse. You know, I gotta look at the silver linings.
Yeah, yeah. Man, life is crazy. It's just crazy how, you know, to think back, say like cave times or whatever, the first people were here. They're like the first people, or there's people say in different positions of the world. There's people here, here,
Yeah.
and they think they're the only people there is. You know, they don't know anything outside themselves at that time. It's like the people. And it would be interesting to experience that type of lifestyle. You know, to not
I see what you're saying.
even know what else there is. Like, you guys are all there is, you think. And then there's these crazy animals and creatures all over that you can encounter, and you just like, are we the only people? Are we the only one like us? You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden you travel, and then you meet people, and then you start realizing, oh no, we're not. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's just that's an interesting. That's like a different type of experience. You know, like now we know all these different types of people. We even know what's going on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
You know, and freaking maybe not to the fullest extent.
Yeah.
You know, but to a point.
No doubt. I definitely see that. There is a lot of, you know, it's cool to solve mysteries. You know, it's always great. And I mean, that's definitely part of what you're talking about. You know, the mystery. Like when there is the mystery, you know, it you want to discover. You know, but I mean, you know, I guess that's just. I agree that it's cool. That'd be cool. That'd be interesting to try out and experience that. But I mean, that just means now there's new mysteries. There's other mysteries to unfold. We've figured that our ancestors did that for us. So we didn't have to. So now we can go and crack these new mysteries. These like fucking technology, bro. Like all this other shit. Like how does the universe work? Like what else is out there? Like other shit.
It's gonna be interesting if we really start like implementing like robots and shit like that.
We already do, man.
Well, I know that. You know what I'm saying? But like on a grand scale, like across the board. There's a thing at Walmart, right? They have like a little robot thing, right? It scans.
Yeah, that one, and then we have a scrubber, like a robotic scrubber that just scrubs routes and shit.
We have one of those too, actually. Zamboni.
Yeah, you can ride it or just set it on the route. Yeah, man, it's wild. I mean, I don't know, man. No doubt there's just some things that can't be done, with a robot, I feel, yet. I mean, obviously there will be a time where, they come to like fully, like, humanoid-esque, like android almost, I could see, But, yeah, right now, they're already, like, doing some stores out here, like, testing it out in, like, New Jersey, where it's just all self-checkout up front. And that's all it is. I've seen that. It's over here,
I've been
right?
hearing about that.
Oh, wait, no, there's no self-checkout over here. Yeah. But, yeah, no, so, I mean, they're trying new things all the time. And, I mean, yeah, it would be interesting, but if it was like that, then it would be different. It'd be more like the government would have to have there'd be a universal income. People would have to, get paid from the government. If nobody worked, if like only like, say like trades jobs, that'd be interesting, honestly. What if it was like that? What if like everything else went automated except for the trades, and then everybody had to go into the trades? That'd be interesting.
Or like creative.
Or creative, or an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. But yeah, not right now, I don't think. But I mean, yeah, there already is some things like like the maintenance thing, the scanning thing. Make.
I met this dude right on the bus. He works for a company that builds robots, and he was actually an engineer, like a diesel engineer or something like that, or a diesel mechanic. And then he got that job at starting to build robots, and it's easier. They pay him better, and we were talking about how this is where the world's going. He's like, I'm just gonna stay in here. I'm gonna stay here because this is where the world's going.
Yeah.
So all he does is he like operates these robots that build these other robots.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like an assembly line.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's wild. That's it. Robots building robots. Yeah. Shit, dude. It's an interesting world we live in.
It's insane, bro.
Yeah. But, yeah, man.
I've always had a dream. I had this dream one time where I don't know where I was. It was in life, but that it was like artificial intelligence, right? So, but this artificial intelligence, it could manifest itself like outside of electric devices, out of the TV, phone, whatever, it bring its form like it has like this electrical form kind of, and it was just devastating the planet.
That's wild. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I've had that dream a couple times.
Yeah.
A couple different scenarios. It's always interesting,
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. I mean, a lot of people, see that. Elon Musk talked about it a little bit one time, and it is I think valid to think about. We should be mindful of it, and and be smart with the code. 'Cause, you can't, if you program I mean, that's the interesting thing too. 'Cause, I mean, like, you know, we are creating machines of war now. You know what I mean? Like death machines, like, you know, drones. Like, you know, these things are made for war. I mean, I assume they probably have some sort of, like, you know, I assume they're working on, because they already have like a bunch of different like battle drones and like just like robots they use to send into like, you know, blow up bombs and shit. And I mean, so yeah, I assume they're probably working on some sort of like, you know, humanoid war machine. Like that'd be interesting. Like as soon as when they deploy something like that, bro, like that's like the storyline of Black Ops 4. Is that yeah, there's like, you know, robots that are now in the battlefield. Like, you know, when you put a machine like in war, like there's like that's a kill machine. Bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Who's
that's
gonna
its
combat?
job.
Who's gonna combat with that machine?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like this. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can destroy a machine, but you know, there's no heart in it. That thing is gonna fucking murder you for nothing and go on to the next guy like nothing. Like that's what's wild. Like if you put that code in a machine, like and then yeah, that's especially like if that code got to like an AI, or like gave an AI with that kind of code, and like, that'd be, you know, some wicked shit.
Yeah, that's how you get the freaking malfunctions, you know, in turn.
Yeah. Get, you know, wise and realize, you know, why am I doing this for you? And you know,
could be doing something else for me,
yeah,
for my species.
Yeah,
you guys are inferior.
Soft, fleshy skin.
Right? You know, they calculate much quicker.
Oh, yeah,
They're
man.
freaking computerized.
Yeah, fucking.
It's
yeah,
just
computers.
their functions embedded in them.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Shit. Well, wanna call it low?
Yeah, we will call it this week.
Alright, y'all, it's been fun.
You know,
It's been a blast.
that was-
Until next time, stay tuned. Peep the
that's
witties.
it. Peep the witties. Keep the music coming out.
Don't sleep it, peep it.
Yep, yep. Oh. Here we go.
And we're off.